parliamentary work, and so they're going to be paying their final respects before the tributes are read.
Anishmama mechia obibia akwaba ebio enrada ena onimunyamfo Enoch Tai Mensah ebusiafo de amamregu akwemu ma yakata nachi krakra na ebusia na moment ni bi enye easy kra emfa mane ma ena afei ne nananom a wogya wo mu ewo etwe eye iti Mensah eye former sports minister na so ye MP for Nungo Prampram papa yi enche ye the 1st of October ene yete se papa yi aka na enchini egu na de koba nyina se na wo yare na otu kwan eko South Africa senka kwakwohwe ne ho eyade ne so fufie anto ata no wu a ukrade kwantumi nje no atese efa no ede ne ko itiene ene busiafo estome eye neyi ase na eye Nana Addo dankwa ekufu ado ena afeso so John Dramani Mahama Alan Cash ena afi penifo ahodo ekeka ho bibiri na estome honom ye maame Professor Jane Nana Addo so ewo ho bi na ni omu nyina de o ma no di sem editu edwa na wotumi se ba ye kan tribute no na ne nanom bi entimi nyina wo na so krakra busia yenkwe na yehwe videos ni bi embra.
The brother or where the family is, the wife laureate, any shots the friend color seated, being aided by the elderly woman in the shot over there.
And so we're going to be receiving some tributes from the family of the late E.T. Mensah. Of course, he's joined with some elderly members of E.T. Mensah's family, including his brother, as they join his son to pay his last respects. Very sad mood for this family. We know who the man E.T. Mensah was, a colossus in terms of parliamentary work, and so they're going to be paying their final respects before the tributes are read.
Convoy of John Dramani Mahama just arriving here in your shop. He's just going to step out of his vehicle. So John Dramani Mahama in your shorts over there. That is John Mahama in a handshake with senior members of the NDC in your shorts over there, where you have his running mate and then also the chairman of the party, John Dramani Mahama, in his shorts over there. So he would first go towards where he's been laid in state and pay his last respect to the body of E.T. Mensah, a man that he has worked closely with, a man that he was also a minister in the Rawlinson's administration with, a man who later became a minister in his own administration with John Dramani Mahama, together with the chairman of the NDC, and then the general secretary, and then also his 2020 running mate of the NDC in your shots over there. So that's him going to pay his last respect to the memory of E.T. Mensah, who later became a member of the Council of State of the Republic of Ghana. Now he's heading towards where the family is, where the wife is, where the wife is. He will be sympathizing and also commiserating with the family and also expressing his condolence. I mean, it's the usual thing that they do often times like this, and still belong to the NDC. The reason why a host of them are here in their numbers, to be able to show their last respect to him. I mean, it's quite telling. You can see Dr. Kwame Addo in his short there, in that intimate conversation with John Mahama and the former organizer, Huffin in your short over there. So
Ebusia inti ya papa John Dramani Mahama ena wuhu no nansamana ni ya abranti ede sign na Ghana fo bebre na etwe mu se anka ehu ehia kra na Ghana for the bibia ye de ye politics na we etwe no na eye Nana Addo dankwa Ekufuado enso ene ne mpanimfo eba ebedu ye na busia okokoche abusiafo na wotimi hu se wone dwondomani Mahama ebonsiri hihi na wo mo echia wo mo nsem hu se politics no ampa enye entokwane amum eye game yenhwe videos no.
So became a member of the Council of State of the Presidency that he is the leader. He's going to be starting from a former Speaker of Parliament, Edward Doe Ajaho. That's it. And we have one person who also knows ET quite well. When it comes to decentralization, he is actually the brain behind it. Professor Ahoy, good morning to you. Well, I know you had some relationship with the departed member of parliament, or former member of parliament for the Ningo Pram Pram constituency. One also asks leaders or elders of the NDC, what role specifically did ET play in one unifying the party as an elder?
Thank you very much. As you know, I was at the University of Ghana campus with ET. He worked at the registry and I was a lecturer at the law faculty. And our relationship started from there. And then we got involved into revolutionary politics. First on campus through what we call the NDM, National Democratic Movement, and then, of course, the entire 10-year period of the PNDC. That's when I worked closest with him because he was the chief executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and I was the Minister of Local Government, so he worked directly under me. We traveled around quite a bit, both domestically and internationally. Committed person. His love for the city, knew no bounds, and many innovations, that we find in the city today were actually his handiwork. Now, as far as the party work was concerned, when the decision was taken in 1991 to form a party to contest the elections, he was among the founding members of the NDC, and he worked very hard. As you may well know, he was a very effective organizer, and so his job was to organize the youth, and he brought together the youth within the NDC and helped to make it into the party that it is today.
The national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who is there. We are also seeing a former Speaker of Parliament, who is the Honourable Edward Doe Ajaho in your shot over there. He also worked closely with him, and also the 2020 running mate of the NDC, Professor Nana Jane Pokwajiman. She's also there in your short. Fifi Kweti Jazz behind him, the General Secretary of the NDC. Happy New Year to you, Prof. For how long have you known ET? I mean, quite a long time, I suppose. But from where you sit, one as an educationist, and also the time you joined the NDC, how long has it been that you've known ET?
Well, I cannot put a date on it. His name has been in the public domain for a very long time, especially with sports. And I think that is where I encountered him briefly, because at the University of Cape Coast, we have a very, very good department, hyper, on sports. So we had to do some work with him. But when I moved into the ministry, he was part of a 3-member team that was supposed to be interested in the infrastructural development of the country. And since at the time we were building universities, we were removing schools from under trees, we were expanding senior secondary schools, we were expanding or providing facilities that were missing at the colleges of education then, as well as expanding the senior secondary school level, it became necessary that I work with him. I found him to be a fine gentleman.
And I mean, he later became a member of the Council of State. It's a bit unusual, for want of a better word, quote unquote, for somebody coming from the opposition side, so to speak, becoming a member of the Council of State. I'm not too sure if we've had that in the past, but to you, what is it that you think he offered as a member of the Council of State to the nation?
But I think that, if we are building a democracy, and if we need a Council of State to counsel the president, to show the country the direction it should be going, then it shouldn't really matter where the person is coming from. So I thought it was all right. Yeah.
All right. Many thanks to you, Professor Nana Addo.
He's done his part for this country. Very hardworking. He was a member of the revolution, and he rose through the ranks from being an accounts officer from the west of Ghana to mayor of Accra to Minister of State, and finally to Council of State member. Only few people have gone through this, and he distinguished himself in all what he did.